Hello guys, this is AJ. So prior to reading the poem, I defined my resting emotion as interest, as I was curious to what the poem I ended up choosing was going to entail, and then also joy, just because I feel joy pretty much all the time. I chose to read "Forced March" by Mikolos Rattoni. This title really stood out to me because something I've learned in previous history classes was about the marches they used to do, um, like the death marches the Nazis would make the concentration camp members do on. I remember reading a book. I don't remember what the text was called. A couple years ago in my world history class, where they made them walk alongside the train tracks, and then the trains would run by with other prisoners going to other concentration camps. Um, I remember learning how they forced them to march without shoes, food, and clothes. And this poem elaborates on the forced march, and the physical and emotional toll it takes on people. And then the syntax and imagery depict a feeling of hopelessness, desperation, and suffering is what I took from the poem. A couple of pieces that stood out to me was "You fall down, stand up, and walk again," and "The ditch calls you, but it's no use." The first quote describes the physical exhaustion through imagery of just repeatedly falling over and being forced to get back up. This just made me feel like the emotion was disgust, like knowing that these individuals were falling over and that they were being forced to get back up, even though they knew what their eventual fate was to end up staying down. Um, Additionally, the other quote, the ditch as in a bed, was references the ditch as a bed. Um, Made me feel grieve. I had to grieve thinking about those who eventually did meet their fate of ending up in a ditch where that was their grave. And at the same time, it just made me feel sad to think about how many people that happened to, and yeah, it's just sad. But emotions I felt while reading, I evaluated on the wheel to be disgust, anger, and grief. And I think the poem did a great job depicting a march, and I think the imagery used really reveals a lot about the Holocaust, and it was really good so I could use prior knowledge that I had beforehand and relate both of them to this poem.